Binomials are simply terms that have two pieces. 3x plus 2, the linear function 3x plus 2, two pieces, the 3x part and the 2, and there's another binomial. Now I want to talk about multiplying these two together, and I kind of want to explain the notation, because what we've talked about already are when we take something and we multiply it into parentheses, something like this, and we just take our 3x and we distribute it in. Once we add this parentheses around this kind of first piece, what we're saying is we want this entire thing multiplied in to each part. So we want the 3x multiplied and the 2 multiplied to each part. So those parentheses are important. They tell us I want to multiply this entire piece, not just the term right in front of it, not just, the 2, but the 3x as well. Now, there are some ways you can kind of shortcut this, or some mnemonics to memorize it, but here's what I would kind of urge you to do. To just think about taking your first term and multiplying that by both of the other terms. So the 3x multiplied by 2x is 6x squared, and the 3x multiplied by negative 3 is negative 9x. So again, all I've done is taken the 3x and multiplied that to both pieces. Now, I'm going to do that with the 2. I'm going to take the 2 and multiply that to both pieces. Okay, so 2 multiplied by 2x is 4x, and 2 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 6. Now, the multiplying part is done, but you'll notice that I have like terms. And that'll often happen. I've got a negative 9x and a plus 4x. They're both just single x to the first power, so I can combine them. So negative 9x plus 4x is negative 5x. So I've got 6x squared minus 5x minus 6. Now this final answer, this multiplied out, this is called a trinomial, and just a trinomial because it has 3 terms. Right? Tri meaning 3. Let's do another one. X minus 4, that binomial, multiplied by 2x squared plus 7. Again, what the parentheses on this mean is that I want to take both parts and multiply it, distribute it, not just the minus 4. So let's do this again this way. We'll take the x and we'll multiply that by each of those 2 terms. So x times 2x squared is 2x cubed, and x times 7 is 7x. And then we'll move on and we'll do the negative 4. Just notice it's a negative 4. We're going to multiply that into these other 2 things. So negative 4 times 2x squared is negative 8x squared. And negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. Now you'll notice that this time I have 4 terms, and I don't have anything that can be combined, but I would like to rewrite this in standard form. I'm going to make a little note here. Standard form, remember, starts with the highest power and just decreases the power. So that minus 8x squared should go second because it's the next highest power. So there's my standard form. Let's do another one. All right, same thing. We're going to take my 5x and just multiply that by both of these other pieces. So 5x multiplied by 4x is 20x squared. 5x multiplied by negative 3 is negative 15x. Then let's do the negative 2 multiplied into both of these things. So negative 2 times 4x is negative 8x. And negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. And you'll notice now I do have 2 like terms here, just single x to the first terms. So negative 15x minus 8x can be combined. So I have 20x squared minus 23x plus 6. So this is how we multiply binomials. And the reason I always think about, just taking the first term and distributing that, and then taking the next term and distributing that, is because this is applicable to much bigger problems. For example, if instead you had something like this, you could use the same logic and say, okay, the x needs to be multiplied by each piece. And then once you're done with that, you take the 3 and multiply that by each piece. And I know there's a well-known device to memorize this called FOIL, where you say you do the first terms and then the outside terms, the inside terms less. Just think about taking that first term and distributing it, because that's what these parentheses are meant to tell you, that this entire thing gets distributed. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more math help.